Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Is $1,500 the new monthly budget to live in the Philippines? Let's have that discussion today. A gentleman asked me the question on the live stream. What's, a decent amount of money to live on in the Philippines? And I know everybody says $1,000 per month at least. That's the old benchmark, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, when I first started watching YouTube on the Philippines probably 10 years ago, that's what people were talking about. They never took in account inflation and everything like that. And, just the years going by, it's always 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So we're going to talk about 1,500. And this isn't to discourage anybody who's earning less than 1,500. I'm not trying to discourage you from coming over to the Philippines and trying to formulate a plan to live on whatever it is you're living on. I just want to take a realistic view at it from somebody who's been living there over 6 years. One thing I did, because I did it for many years, I lived on about $1,400 per month. But let me stop right there and tell you, we're going to talk about as a single person. It's too many dynamics out there. This isn't a budget video. I'm just going to talk to you today about the basics. Because I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to be with a woman. Does she have children? Are you going to live in Metro Manila? Or are you going to live in Dumaguete? It's a big difference. But we're just going to talk about the 1,500 because I believe that should be the new benchmark. I talked a little bit about this before, but I want to go a little bit deeper today because there's some things you can do to really live comfortably off that. Certainly if you got money in the bank already. Now we're talking about once the dust settles and you realize, hey, I can live in the Philippines. I like it over here. Because here lately, you see a lot of videos on YouTube about how people don't like it, they're leaving. Well, if you're like me, these are the people I'm talking to. My videos aren't for everybody. Everybody's not going to relate to them. Everybody's not going to agree to them. But if you're somebody like me who loves it over there, who's found a sweet spot, I think I can help you. But once the dust settles and you figure out, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I built a house because there's a way that you can go about building a house for very little money, and then you can lower your cost of living expenses over there. You can lower your living expenses. And before you even stop listening to the video now, there is a way you can do that. You can lease the land and build the house. You can be with a woman that you trust. There's women over there you can trust. Stop listening to all the negativity. Because there's more people who built houses over there like myself who didn't get kicked out, who didn't get cheated, who didn't get scammed than people who did. Far more. But you can do that. Depending on who you are and your taste and everything, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. And I'm going to come back to that. Because that's what I did. I spent a lot of money on the front end, but now it's paying off on the back end. So you're looking at your $1,500. We're just going to talk about living expenses. And you decide, I'm going to live in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental, a Class 2 city, a very nice city. You're retired though. If you want to itch, you can go to Cebu, you can go to Dumaguete, Bacolod, Iloilo. You can get on a plane and go to Manila. But this is a retired place. Quiet, very little crime, very clean. The people are unbelievable. And I've been living there for 6 years. You can find a nice place for a single person for $200 per month. Fully furnished. With the smart TV, the aircon, the small refrigerator. The only thing you're going to have to buy is a small cooking unit. Then you're going to spend another $100 on electricity and water. And if you want the Wi-Fi and cable, it's another $30. Okay, now remember, you got to watch this exchange rate too. That always plays a part. But anyway, okay, so now what are we at? Where are we? Let's just say we're at $325. Now you're talking about your immigration fees. That's about another $28 a month. So we're looking at $350 now. Now you're looking at your food, okay? Well, how much does it cost to feed one person? One single person. Well, in the United States, I just looked it up. They're saying anywhere from $250 to $400 a month, depending on where you live, depending on your dietary choices, okay? But this baseline, they're talking about 200 to 400. Let's take the 400, the high end. You're by yourself. They even break that down. They say, okay, you're going to spend about 300 on groceries. Then you're going to spend anywhere from 50 to 100 eating out. And then I'm going to add another 100 in there for toothpaste, toothbrush, laundry detergent, dishwashing liquid. Y'all see what I'm saying? So you're looking at 500. So now, let's see, 200 for rent, 100 for utilities, $30 for cable and Wi-Fi, $28. So we're looking at $350. Now you add 400, so that's $750, and then 100 for your, I call it grocery items. Okay, now you're looking at $850, and you're done. So now you got $650 left to do whatever it is you want to do. That's transportation. That's basically your lifestyle. If you want to go places, or you can save that, as much of it as you can. We're just talking about single people. But it has to start at $1,500. Otherwise, you're just over there. You're just existing. And that's good enough for some people. But that wouldn't be good enough for me. I spent money on the front end to build that house. Now I don't have rent. All I have is the utilities and the food and the lifestyle. And because I've been over there for so long, I've seen all the places. I don't go a whole lot of places anymore. Because when you get over there, ladies and gentlemen, this is when you're going to spend your money. You're going to be on that vacation, in that vacation mode. There's so many places to see over there. You're going to want to go to Panglao, Boracay, Palawan, Puerto Galera. You're going to want to go to all those places. Let me see the Chocolate Hills. I want to go scuba diving. I want to go island hopping. That's why I said when the dust settles. But if you got enough money to buy you a small house, let's look at my guest house. Okay. I spent about $5,500 for that 15 square meter house. Okay, now just double that. Now it's 30 square meters. Now you got a 1-bedroom house for $11,000. And you can lease the land. Or if you trust a woman enough, you'll buy you a nice piece of land for another $5,000 or something. Depending on where you are, remember. So now you don't have any more rent. And then when you leave, you can sell the house. You've already got assets now. You're not just pissing away your money over there like I see a lot of people do, like I did for many years. You invested in the place. If you're going to live over there for a considerable period of time, then remember, I'm talking about people like me who really like it over there. I'm not talking about anybody on the fence. Oh, I like it. Some days I don't, or I don't like it. I'm talking about people who are all in. I'm all in. That's really something that you can think about. It's a whole lot less than spending all that money for one of those condominiums. But yeah, let's have the discussion. It's $1,500 per month, the new budget to live in the Philippines, fairly comfortable. I say, yeah. For a single person. We're not even going to get into all the dynamics, okay, and all the situations. We're talking about for a single person. Can you do it on 1,000? Yeah, but you're basically existing. The lower your budget, the lower your security. You don't want to be someplace where you're sleeping with one eye open and one eye closed. You don't want that. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. This came across my mind this morning because the guy asked me that last night. And I knew I talked about it a little bit before. But honestly, it's 1,500. I mean, if you got 2,000, yeah, but you can do it on 1,500 as a single person. If you got somebody with you and she may or may not have kids, then you probably gonna have to bump that up to 2,000, guys. I'm just being realistic. You just don't want to go over there and sit around. Okay, because that's what's gonna happen. And remember, you got emergencies. I talked about this a long time ago too. We got a great opportunity in the Philippines because the cost of living is so much less than it is over here. Go back in my library. I'm going to put the link in my description to prove to you I was talking about this long before anybody else. You can get your savings up. You can pay your bills off. Get your credit together, man. You got a great opportunity, but we don't take advantage of it. Because we bring that consumerism with us. You got to get rid of that addiction. Because you know worse than a crackhead, really. Crackheads spend all their money. And consumer junkies spend all their money. There's no reason for us to be living paycheck to paycheck in the Philippines. That's one of the reasons to move there, guys. Listen to me. You don't just want to go over there to have a good time and all of that. This is where you have a good time. You want to go over there to thrive. I'm mediocre over here. But over there, I'm outstanding. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, bang your heart to help somebody. Now the day goes by that I don't help somebody. My channel is to help people, to give you everything I've got. Most of my videos are about me and what I've done to get over the hump over there. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Reevaluate that $1,000 per month benchmark that you got going around in your head. It's probably going to take a little bit more if you want to live comfortable. I'm going to say 1,500. I'm going to say for a single person, you really can live good over there. There's no reason for you not to. But while you're thinking about it, start doing your research now. Start listening to what people say. Look at what they're doing. If they're going to be honest enough. See, I don't have any reason to lie. You can't lie for almost 5 years. In August, it'll be 5 years I've been on here. Surely you're going to catch me in a lie by now. There's no reason to do that. This is what I tell people. Stop it. Sitting on the edge of your seat, listening to what I'm saying, and look at what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get much more out of these videos if you do that.